Welcome to ITTF World of Table Tennis. In this episode, all the action from the Asian Cup. Find out which nation dominates South Asian table tennis. And we're bringing you the spectacular pairs competition from the Volkswagen Cup. The Asian Games, an event featuring a multitude of sports held every 4 years with athletes from all over Asia. It's the world's second largest multi-sport event after the Olympic Games, and the 16th edition will be held in November this year in Guangzhou, China. Table tennis was first incorporated into the Asian Games back in 1958 and is of course one of the toughest sports to succeed in. But the smaller table tennis nations do get a chance to shine at the regional games that are being held throughout Asia as a sort of build-up to the big event. One of those events is the Southeast Asian Games that was recently held in Laos, where the medals were shared between the Philippines, Indonesia, Malaysia, Thailand, Vietnam and Singapore. Singapore, of course, being the region's table tennis powerhouse. In the women's singles final, Singapore's First Lady Fong Tianwei took on teammate Wang Yuegu, and Fong took command from the word go. She won the 3 opening games, but in the 4th, Wang came back to win 12-10. In the 5th, Fong resumed control. And Fong Tianwei once again showing that she is the table tennis queen of Southeast Asia with a 5 games victory.
It is my first time to participate in the Southeast Asian Games, and I was able to be the winner of the gold medal. I feel very happy. The whole contest was very intense and splendid, and I'm satisfied with my performance.
The men's singles final also featured a Singaporean duel as Gao Ning was the pre-match favourite against compatriot Yang Zi. And Gao lived up to expectations, winning the match with ease. It was all over in 5 games, and Gao Ning was the happy champion of the men's singles event at the Southeast Asian Games.
Well, my feeling now is for sure pretty happy, and I'm delighted because this time I finally won the gold medal in the men's singles. I feel pretty happy.
Singapore dominating, even if they did miss one of the 7 gold medals on offer here in Vientiane. A lot of hard work is, as always, the key to success.
Well, maybe it's because in this year's Southeast Asian Games, Singapore had a relatively strong capability in table tennis. Thus, we won both gold and silver medals.
Because Singapore invested a lot on table tennis, the government, the Table Tennis Association and the coaches have all put in a lot of effort for us. It is not easy to reach our present standards.
Moving on to the South Asian Games and the 11th edition, which took place in the city of Dhaka in Bangladesh in February. India is not often referred to as a great sporting nation, but compared to their South Asian rivals, they were in a class of their own, grabbing 90 out of the 157 gold medals on offer. And the Indian paddlers reigned supreme in the table tennis event. The Indian men and women grabbed all the gold and silver medals in the singles and doubles events, and also wrapped up the team finals against Sri Lanka in style. So table tennis is definitely on the rise in the second most populated country in the world.
It's becoming a very popular.
Yes, it's becoming a very popular sport, since we won a gold medal in the Commonwealth Games in both men's team and singles events. As well as this, we also won the bronze medal in the women's team event. It is becoming more popular, and we are getting support from the government and also the Table Tennis Federation, so it's good. We have been practicing a lot, basically for the Commonwealth Games, but for the South Asian Games was also our target, and our coach wanted us to be successful, which we were today, so I think it's good.
A Aside from success at the last Commonwealth Games, the Indian women's team managed to reach the quarter-final stage at the Asian Games in Doha in 2006, which for sure was a giant step in the right direction.
It's same. It's actually the competition in Asian Games is more tougher.
The competition in the Asian Games is really tough. The best country in the world in table tennis is China, and also the Japanese are strong, so the competition is very, very hard in the Asian Games. And after we finished in the top 8, we are encouraged that we can do better.
Top 8, we have more encouragement, like we have that thought like we can do better.
The Indian athletes are well aware of the fact that they'll need to improve to be able to challenge the big guns of the sport, who they're set to face at the upcoming Asian Games.
We are training really hard, and we are also opening some camps in China so we can have practice with those Chinese players, and we are also training very hard in India.
Within 2 years, 3 years, we'll try to compete.
Within 2 to 3 years, we will try to compete, and actually we are competing with them, but they are pretty exceptional in the last crucial points, which is the difference between other players and the Chinese. We are trying to learn these techniques, and we will give our best.
The Volkswagen Cup proudly welcomes some of the strongest table tennis nations in the world to the Asian Games host city Guangzhou at the end of March this year. And it was no surprise to see players from China, Japan and Korea dominating the proceedings. The men's singles tournament was a true showcase of great table tennis. With 4 European players facing 4 Asian players, the quarterfinals turned out to be a real battle between the continents. World number 1 Ma Long played the Austrian veteran Werner Schlager in the first quarter-final and could proceed in the tournament after 4 swift games. The reigning European champion Michael Mays had little trouble getting past Yuk Chong of Hong Kong, only losing 1 game. But in the semi-finals, the hunter became the hunted as the 29-year-old Dane suffered a humbling defeat at the hands of world number 1 Ma Long, who showed magnificent form by advancing to the finals without losing a single game. In the lower half of the draw, all 7 games were needed to separate the Belarusian Vladimir Samsonov and Japanese youngster Yun Mitsutani. Mitsutani, who had not won a single game against Samsonov prior to this matchup, was for the first time the stronger of the two and secured a berth in the semi-finals. The defensive Korean Yoo Se-yuk surprised many when he upset former world number 1 Timo Boll in 5 close games. In a scintillating semi-final against Yun Mitsutani, Yoo Se-yuk turned a 2-game deficit into a 4-2 win to go on to the prestigious final against Ma Long. We join the action in the second game with Ma in the lead, 1-0. Yoo
Se-yuk with the serve. Oh, fantastic play, forcing Ma away from the table, a chance to equal the scoreboard, and he does well.
So, Yoo Se-yuk evening out the scores with great play, but Ma Long then won the 3rd game before the Korean once again created an opportunity to regain parity against the world leader.
Yoo Se-yuk playing so well against Ma Long. Oh, can't keep it alive. Serve rotating after everyone now, and Zhu sends it long. Ma Long.
Well, Zhu had a chance serving for the game, but Ma Long converted and went on to a 3-1 lead. And in the 5th game, Ma swiftly advanced to within touching distance of victory.
For the match. Well, talk about convincing.
Well, with a final score of 4-1, the top man in the world rankings could claim another title. The runner-up, Korean paddler Yoo Se-yuk, a surprise to some, showed that his defensive skills can take him even further in this year's ranking.